Hi Lumineers, welcome to the Lighter Side Show. I'm your host, Jamie Butler, and on set today I have Laura Boone!
Hi everybody!
One
I'm glad to be here.
People in the world, and at my feet, the Sunny.
Sunny came. She's the rambunctious dog.
Huge, yeah. Running everywhere, so disruptive.
She's great. She brings the energy.
I know, right? She's really good at grounding.
I know.
So Lumineers, today we're going to talk about Astrological Opportunities of 2019, and Laura's going to break it down month by month. So it's easier to understand and kind of put it on your calendar of what energy is coming up each month. But before we do that, I have some housekeeping notes. Yay! What is going on here in Atlanta, Georgia? Well, our Reiki Level 1 class is full. Thank you so much for signing up. But don't worry, we'll be offering it later in the year. We do have Reiki 2 and the Mastership class coming up. But we also have the Basic Mediumship, which is online. In the Basic Mediumship class, you will learn about your intuitive skills, how to build them, how to build relationship and trust with them. And we also have Intermediate Mediumship class and Advanced. We also have a few cool things coming up. I'm pairing up with Natsumi at the Center for Love and Light, who is an amazing raw vegan chef. And we're going to do kind of like a dinner with the dead kind of experience.
What?
I know, right?
I'm there.
You coming?
Yes.
So I'm going to channel, and Natsumi's going to serve her food, and you're going to eat and enjoy the messages from the beyond.
Yes, please. Because she has the best vegan food ever. You guys, if you live in Atlanta, it's a treat to have this person cater. And then, oh my gosh, spirits and vegan food.
I know.
My two favorite things.
And some other cool things that we have. Dan Drazen is coming from California, and we're going to be showing his documentaries. And he's going to be talking with us about EVPs and communication recordings from the beyond.
Oh my gosh.
He's an amazing scientist, photographer, everything. His documentaries are out of this world. And Colleen and I are going back to Kamloops this year.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Yay.
Maybe we can get you to come to Kamloops this year. You will flip.
I want to go.
Not just the amazing
all of it.
vortexes and portals, but the tiny horses.
We may have to charter a plane
I
from
want
Atlanta this year because so many people want to go.
I
Still
want to
waiting for
go.
my invitation.
Jesse!
When is it?
We'll post all the dates and links and everything below, and everyone is invited to Kamloops. It is magical. And of course, all the animals on the farm, except 3 horses, are miniature in size.
Do you have the dates yet for that?
Miniature ducks.
Last weekend in June.
Last weekend in June.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, please tell me.
Weekend?
Yeah.
I can do it. I'm there.
Cool.
Yeah.
I would love it.
So,
Yeah, can we bring the vegan chef too?
Natsumi would love to travel.
Maybe I'll sponsor
would be
Natsumi and
awesome.
get her to come on. Let's
Oh
do
my
it.
Dude, she
Fun.
flip out.
I know.
The place is stunning.
I
And then
can't
she
wait.
has the Crystal's cabin, the
Oh
Curiosity
my
of
God,
Crystal's cabin.
yes. No, I'm there. I want to go.
Oh, wait, now I know this is like, I love you. But let's get into
I love
the
you too.
Astrological Opportunities of
Yes.
2019 because I want to know what's going on. I heard a rumor that the first 3 months of 2019 have no retrogrades. Like we're actually forward moving.
I think that is
for the start
correct.
off.
I did not bring my ephemeris today to confirm that, but it sounds right. I mean, I know things
why
are
it's
going
feeling
retrograde
so
later
good.
in the year. Yeah.
Yes.
But I'm feeling good about this year. I think it's going to be a really good year.
I do too.
So first of all, let me just say, I also have a show on the network called The Real Ethereal
Yes.
Show. And I have built a library of astrology information. So if you want to learn more about some of the terms that I use in the show, please go peruse my episodes because I've got a little bit of everything on there to teach anybody about anything. I have all the signs. I have a whole lot of things. Anyway, how I thought I would do this today, Jamie, is first of all, there are so many transits that happen constantly all the time. So there were, 1,000 things I could talk about, but I tried to each month pull out one thing that I thought was important that if you became conscious of and really focused on and set an intention around, I think you can really harness that energy.
So this is like your highlighter notes
Highlighter notes
of each month.
I would recommend you guys stop the recording, go get a piece of paper, go get a pen, because I think that this is a really good opportunity for you guys to kind of put these dates in your calendar and you can write your notes or intentions around each thing. And I think it would just be a wonderful way to kind of remind yourself throughout the year what to focus on. Because if you watch my shows about astrology, and this is my belief, all of this energy doesn't just happen to us. We are a part of it. So if you become more conscious of this energy, which is why I call this show the Opportunities, Astrological Opportunities of 2019, you can harness that and use it towards an intention that you want or focus it into your life.
Do you think we could place an order for you to create the calendar and have it
Wouldn't
like
that be wonderful?
the header of each month?
I love
and
that.
then we know how to like
It could be
focus our energy or rhythm.
What an amazing.
Okay.
Yes.
And you could almost like have an intent statement per the week.
Right.
I think daily is almost too much to focus on. And sometimes we get overwhelmed with that. But
love that idea. I love that. What if it were one of those daily calendars?
You could do that.
Love.
Note to self.
Note to self. Okay. Well, let's get going. January.
Which houses both of our birthdays.
I know. Capricorn and
Aquarius.
Aquarius. And I'm on the end. I'm right on the cusp. I'm on the 19th. So I'm sort of half and half. We vibrate, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So January. I think it is interesting. I picked January 22nd, which is when Venus is conjunct Jupiter in Sagittarius. So what does that mean? Conjunct is a harmonious relationship between those two planets. It means they're together in Sagittarius. So I think that could really speak to an opportunity to either go out and get love or really rev up the relationship you're already in.
So this is a really positive swing.
Very. I think it could be very positive. Sagittarius is the sign of energy, action, good luck, good fortune. It's also the sign, I believe, that really focuses beautifully on Venus here, is about taking risks. It's about taking a risk, gambling on putting yourself out there to go find your love, or, taking a risk with your partner. Let's go on a trip. Let's
read 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, let's do something. Yeah. It's about adventure. It is. Sagittarians would be into that. It's about adventure. It's about shaking things up. So your intention around January 2nd and in January, I would say, with Venus conjunct Jupiter is, what can I do towards my love life and my romantic life, right? Venus is romantic. How can I either start it, find it, or rev up what you have? Nice, right?
Yeah.
And it's a winter month. You don't think about that. And, everybody's kind of hibernating. Nope. Don't hibernate. Get out. Okay. Interestingly, because let's move to February. I was looking at around Valentine's Day this year. Nothing could be further from the truth around Valentine's Day, when you would think it would be the romance time of the year. I've got Mars. I picked on February 13th. I've got Mars conjunct Uranus in Aries. What does that mean?
Yeah.
They're right on top of each other too there. Fits of anger, outbursts of temper.
Oh, God.
Irritation, guys.
Should we move Valentine's up 4 or 5 days to get a sweet spot?
Things kind of coming from nowhere, surprise, kind of reasons to argue. This also, Mars is conjunct Uranus, which is a big major planet. So it could be notice in world events around Valentine's Day.
Okay.
Where world leaders could not be getting along, or there could be a battle that outbreaks, or there could be, it's an unrest moment. I recommend around Valentine's Day, in your family, with yourself, with your colleagues, with your, romantic partner, do physical things. In other words, find a place for that energy that's positive. It's a great time to tear something down, and it's a great time to renovate. It's a great time to, Valentine's Day this year, go run a 5K with your partner. Get your family, go do something physical, right? Instead of trying to have that ooey gooey, quiet, romantic moment. You should have done that in January. We already talked about that. Have your romantic moment January 22nd, that part of January. Around Valentine's Day, get out, like go hiking, get with the earth, let the earth take that. You know, the earth is such a healer for those lower angry energies. It just, she absorbs it. So give it back to the earth during that time.
Love it.
Okay. March, our first Mercury in retrograde. There are 3 every year. March 5th through March 28th in Pisces is our retrograde of 2019, the first one. I would say most of you know what to do with a retrograde, and actually I have a whole show on it in
It's
the
a
Real
great
Ethereal
show.
show, so I'm just going to give a highlight. Pisces makes a retrograde more about emotions. In other words, you may have people that you've broken up with or people that you've had arguments with where it's very emotional, come back from the past. You can also have love relationships. You know, those people that, you know, kind of ghosted you, all of a sudden, you know, they're back going, hey, I miss you. Watch for that. That's going to be happening in March.
So that's not necessarily a sign saying, oh, if you've come back, then we can remedy and heal this. It's more like, just be aware. It's not always going to be great news.
No. It's not always going to be great news, but what it is, I think, every time, whether you rekindle a relationship or you're like, oh, Lord, no, I don't need that back in my life. It's about finally closing something.
Okay.
Finally putting it to bed. Finally, it could be a lot of apologies, you guys. Like, I want to come back and make amends, and now we can break more cleanly. So I think last few weeks of March, watch for that. The other thing, just real quick, you know, we always talk about travel and contracts and things like that are not so great during Mercury retrograde. I think that applies, but this is really interesting because it's in that Pisces water sign. So, you know, boating, nope. You could have plumbing issues. You could have the machinery around your house, like the basements flood. Based on electronics that break down, right? Your sump pump breaks. How many sump pumps are going to break in March? I don't know. But I find that to be a little bit interesting,
It'd
right?
be interesting to be able to count that.
Yeah, water pipes in your car, you know, having a car issue, but, you know, it's the water.
Water pipes in your car.
There's water. There's
we'll
a
have
water
an
thing in your
automobile
car.
lesson in a second.
There aren't there just their water. I know because I used to have a car.
She's asking me about cars.
There's heated water.
I don't know what a Toyota is.
Anyway, don't ask me any more than that. So
maybe this is the weekend of the advanced mediumship workshop.
Is that what it is?
Talking.
It might be.
Toilets clogging.
Yeah, it is.
Plumbing issues. Yeah, all that.
We'll be aware of that.
I wouldn't be on the boat. I wouldn't be. I mean, I just would be really careful about things like that. Wear a life jacket in the bathtub.
Don't drink a lot of water because then you're a potential risk. You know, those things.
Common sense prevail. I'm just kidding. Okay. April. Let's move on. Full moon in Libra. In the same sign over the last 2 months. So we've had, in April, we would have had a full moon in Libra in March and a full moon in April in Libra, both in Libra. That's very, very rare.
Really?
So let's talk about what that lesson is trying to teach us. So I would even actually put this intention in March, but then really underscore it April 19th, which is when this happens. Full moons are, I almost say, it's the exhale, and then the new moon's the inhale, right? Full moons are where we're getting rid of what we don't need. Okay, it's a time of release. It's a time of evaluation and editing. So a full moon in Libra is very much about balance. Okay, so it's about letting go of the things that make us out of balance so that we get back in balance. So are we eating or drinking too much? Are we working too much? Are we sleeping too much? What are you doing that's making you be out of balance?
You find better harmony, more ease because you're in balance?
Yes. Libra is about finding equilibrium. It's about the detail. It's about peace, having peace, and really watching the scales of that energy, right? And especially with the moon, you guys, which is all about your emotional life. It's about self-care, okay? And it's about finding balance. So balance, resetting your balance in March and April. The moon, like the universe is going to be helping you do that. If you're really out of balance and you're not being conscious around this,
Oh, yeah.
it overflows. So around April 19th, you could have a meltdown or have a health issue or so watch
Or
all these things.
potentially be fired or something like taken from you because you weren't paying attention to it, so the universe does it for you.
The consequences will show up.
Huh.
It's the metaphor is the pot starts boiling over, right?
Mm-hmm.
So your pot's boiling over. If you don't turn down that heat or pour some of that out, if you're not paying attention, if you're in another part of the house and your emotional life just boils over, there becomes a consequence for it. So it's a lovely push
Are you writing
for us
that
to
down,
have
Colleen?
balance.
We need to know that.
Yeah, it's a lovely
for what's
push.
coming up.
Okay, May. Venus, I've got 2.
I love that I'm looking at her notes. It doesn't mean anything to me. It's
Yeah.
like
I've
in
got
a different language.
I've got 2, and I don't know what it was with
2.
me this year, but especially the first half of the year, I was focusing a lot on Venus. There's just a lot going on with Venus. So, Venus is the planet of balance. It's ruled by Libra and Taurus, Libra then Taurus. It's a lot about romance, being pleasant, the arts, creativity, and having everything put where it needs to be put. Not in a rigid way like Capricorn, but in a very beautiful way, making things more beautiful. That's what Venus is about. So you need balance to have beauty, right? So May, Venus is up to a lot in May. May 9th, write that down. Venus will be in Aries, which is kind of interesting. That's, Joan of Arc Venus. That's warrior princess. Trining Jupiter in Sagittarius. Look at that. Whoa. So
let's look at that.
Right?
What does it mean?
Venus trining Jupiter in these fire signs is just, it's like fierce art. Does that make sense? Fierce, it's
passionate?
Passion. Yeah, there you go. Passion. So let's bring all that passion to the romance. Wonderful expansion. Jupiter expands Venus. It's a great time to add on to your house, add on to your business, make things beautiful, do a makeover, go on a fabulous trip. It's wonderful for love. Wonderful for love. And gosh, in Taurus, May 9th, the sun will be in Taurus. So we're just talking about great sex, great romance, just wonderful things. Yay.
I'm just having these visions of, how the reports come out about unemployment. Unemployment numbers are low right now or whatever.
This is a wonderful
for like single people. In 2019, those numbers are going to be low because apparently there's a lot of romance in 2019.
There is the first half.
Very low.
You just brought up another point that I've kind of neglected to say about Venus. Venus is also about money and affluence. So this is also a really good money time, May 9th. It's a great time to buy a lottery ticket. Great time to buy a lottery ticket. May 9th, go buy lottery tickets. I'm serious. Jupiter rules that. So it's just very happy, good expansion. So focus on May 9th, guys. Focus on what do you want? What do you want to attract to you? What do you want to bring to you? It could be things or love.
And does the second date that pinged you, does it feed the 9th?
Well, it's the 18th. So it's 9 days after this. So, transits are not just like that minute, that day. There's time before and time after, right?
Like a mountain.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a peak?
Exactly. Okay. So we're rolling. So we are on the May 9th, Venus and Jupiter trine, Aries and Sag, and then we're rolling right into Venus being conjunct in Uranus. So that could be reversals of fortune. That could be big surprises, i.e., you bought that lottery ticket May 9th. Well, you could win the lottery with a Uranus Venus conjunction. You can also have really surprise, depending on your chart. It could be natural disasters. It could be, a tree falls on your house. It could be that a distant relative dies and all of a sudden you have a house that's been given to you, right? It's very big and surprising with Venus. So it'll be about money around that time with Venus. It could be about love. So you could, bam, just meet the love of your life without trying. Uranus is not about trying. Uranus happens to us. We have nothing to do with it.
To be engaged.
Yes. Surprise. Didn't think that was going to happen. And bam, there it is. So surprises when it comes to money and love.
To get pregnant?
Yes. Yeah, you could get pregnant, but
condom sales are going up in May.
It's less of a
Jesse.
It's less of an earthy trying though. That's more of an earthy thing. This is more of a, I would say, money
external.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So wow, May. Interesting, right? June 14th. Let's move to June. I've got a Mars in Cancer opposition to Saturn in Capricorn. I love how astrology just sort of flip-flops. So now we're going into, okay, it's time to get down to business in June. It's time to get to work. It's time to, put the cotton candy down.
But that's the month where we're like, summer has come.
I know.
The children are back. Like the rhythm in the house has changed. It feels like a party for a few months. And all of a sudden you're throwing out the...
Isn't that interesting?
Hunker down.
Yeah, it's the same with Valentine's Day. It's like Valentine's Day is hunker down into January when everybody's getting back to work. That's when you need to be having fun. So June, Mars in Cancer, Saturn in Capricorn opposing each other. So here's what that's about mostly. It's about work-life balance. It's about, wow, I've got all these responsibilities work-wise to feed everybody. And I'll also have to nurture everybody. It's the mother, Mars in Cancer, Saturn in Capricorn. It's those mother and father energies out of whack.
Oh, interesting.
Right? So depending on your chart, it could be out of whack one way or the other. But so how do we work with I said this is an opportunity, not just something bad that happens to us. So what we do around June 14th, knowing this is going to happen, is really sit down with your partner, and sit there and go, how's our family? Are we out of balance in terms of our time together? Or do we need more structure?
I was going to say, so even when this is presenting that opportunity, you can still have good communication. This isn't about...
This is about intention. So if this is about finding power struggles between mother and father energy, or power struggles between the practical aspects of running a family or running your life versus the care, nurturing, time, leisure time aspects of running your life, I really am feeling families around this. Okay. So what do? If you're not conscious of this, you're just sort of wake up one day and there's chaos and resentment and, the bread earner's never there and everybody's getting frustrated. They feel neglected. And I don't know how it will manifest in your home, but instead of that, make a little family meeting, June 14th, family meeting. Sit down and go, how's our schedule working, guys? What do we have coming up? What does everybody need? Right? How can we come together and get a handle on making sure everybody gets what they need and the family runs smoothly? That way you are working with the energy. You're saying, we want this lesson. We want to work with getting this right, rather than the lesson gives you a bottom, gives you more and more chaos until you pay attention to it.
It's like a pressure cooker.
Yeah, but you can just sit right up at the table with it.
Nice.
Let's do this. And it'll actually help you. None of these things are bad. They're actually trying to help you get balance between these two energies in your life and your family life. So that's a really great example of being proactive with this energy and not letting it happen to you. Okay, July 7th through August 2nd is our next Mercury in retrograde.
Is that extra long?
Typically they're about 3 weeks.
Not really.
Is that longer? Yeah.
It's like a big mountain.
It's a little over
It's
3.
a month. It's about a month, isn't it? Every Mercury retrograde is about a month.
I guess when you put it that way, but like she lays down July 7th through August 2nd.
So this is
Seems
so
like too
guys,
much.
think about this. June and July, this is a little interesting, right? For summer this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, a lot of vacations happen then.
Yeah.
So does that mean don't go on vacation and hide in your house and cancel your trips? No, that does not mean that. But what it does mean is, maybe this year you buy trip insurance. Everybody says, I don't want to spend that extra $20 on my plane ticket. This year, if you're traveling between July 7th and August 2nd, go ahead and check the box. Just bite the bullet, check the box. The other thing is, if you're driving somewhere, driving to the beach, whatever, and, your car, you're like, I know, maybe, I don't want to buy that new car until September, but we're going to drive down. But I know I need, I know I need new tires, but I think we can make it. Nope. Go ahead and just be extra careful with, making sure your vehicles are safe. It's just little things like that. If you're, on Trip Finder or whatever, and you're getting a Airbnb somewhere, just do that extra bit of check the reviews. Do that extra bit of caution around your vacation this year, July, August. I mean, most people travel that month when the kids are out of school. So that's all it means. It's not about being scared, but it's about taking extra measures. Also, be prepared, right? Be your, what is it, Girl Scout?
Yep.
Be prepared.
Have your life jacket if you're going to go in the water.
Correct. Just everything. Have, your spare tire in the car. Have just everything that you need. Just be a little bit OCD about making sure you've double checked everything about your travel. Okay, August. Okay, this is the big, now we're getting into
Meat?
Huh?
The meat? Is that what, like
The
we're getting
meat?
down to the core?
No, I would say now we're getting into some of the biggest astrological events of the whole year.
Really?
Are really early fall.
Jesse's birthday.
Stop.
Is your birthday August 30th?
Oh, no.
When's your birthday?
Fall.
The 12th.
We had to bring in his birthday though somehow into this.
He's a double Leo.
Yeah, do you know he's a double Leo?
Double Leo. Yeah. August 30th, we have got a new moon in Virgo, which we talked about full moons versus new moons. So new moons are, I call it the inhale.
The breathe in.
That's when we're like, what are we going to do?
That's the energy.
That's the new start. Yeah, let's bring it in. We're bringing the new, and let's go out and do what we need to do. Now, it's in Virgo. So what does that speak to? That speaks to our bodies, our health. This is a wonderful time to really, revamp, reboot our self-care and health.
So
and
it's
what
like
we're doing for our bodies.
New Year's resolutions begin
August 3rd, August 30th, excuse me. Yes, yes. Because, and here's why, you guys, there's a 5-planet stellium in Virgo starting then.
I'm sorry, a what?
It's a 5, so a stellium means that a stellium is 3 or more planets in the same sign at the same time. So
and
we've got 5 planets and the moon in a new moon in Virgo. So it's Virgo, 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 Virgo.
Okay.
So one of the biggest moments this year is really, we're all going to be in the early fall. I call it third quarter. Third quarter. We really all need to be thinking about Virgo things. So let's talk about that.
Okay.
Virgo is about our bodies, our health. So there could be either health issues, and we got 5 planets.
I was going to say, like surgeries and stuff as
it could
well?
be so many things. It could be, is your house healthy? Is your work-life balance healthy? Is your body healthy? Is what you're eating healthy? are your goals healthy?
Does this also apply to animals? Like, could
Yes.
we use this and,
Yes.
look at, let's say, Sunny, who's passed out now,
Absolutely.
and say, we're going to highlight the Virgo in Sunny's life?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Virgo is also about self-discipline. Virgo is about editing. Virgos are very discerning, so it's another wonderful time to really plan, really get your list together, really set they talk about your goals are in January. I would be setting, I personally am going to be doing a reboot for my goals and my vision board, whatever, August 30th.
And how far in advance can you set those goals? Is it just something where you're like,
You can
no,
do
just
it.
look at it for the next month?
You can
look at
do it
for the
now. It's not about doing
But,
it
like,
right
how
then,
long
but
are
it
you
is
looking?
it is about really taking this time to align with that energy. And if you've already set your intentions, like if you set them now, Jamie,
Mhm.
I'd revisit everything August 30th.
But I can look as far in the future as I want to at this
Yes.
time, like
This is
5, 10, 100 years.
this is another wonderful thing. This is a great time. I almost call it like planting your magic seeds of intention. This is an earth sign. Virgo grows things. It's an earth sign. It's time to really set your intentions. Because it's very powerful. The whole universe is behind your intentions at this time, especially if they're healthy, especially if they're um, of service. That's the other thing. Let me say this, God, this is really important. Virgo represents the sixth house, which is also the house of service. So a lot of this too is how can I be of service to the world, to myself, to my family, to my community. That kind of energy it's like turbo energy. We talk about harnessing the energy.
Mm-hmm.
And Moon, Uranus this is just, it's going to be an amazing time where a lot of world change can happen too. A lot of healing can happen. Virgo's the great healer too. So it's a great time, like you were talking about surgery. It rules. This is a great time to have a surgery. You got a surgery coming up? I'd wait till September, 1st of September. It's a great time for healing.
Okay.
Love this. And I know I'm talking a lot about it, but it's a big deal, big thing. So September 3rd, which is right after that, right? Then we move into the stellium that we're living in at that moment in Virgo is going to start actually doing things together. Which, in other words, I've got a grand trine with 3 of the planets in that stellium. It's between Pluto and Capricorn, Uranus and Taurus, and then the rest of the stellium of these planets in Virgo. So September 3rd, we ought to even do something here at the center.
Yeah?
It's a real big let's heal the planet moment. Okay? It's a great time to kind of come together for a global moment to pray, set an intention, do a ritual. We need to do something.
Let's see. Check on the calendar now. Let's see what's happening.
Yeah,
September 3rd.
September 3rd, because it's a beautiful grand trine in our one of our mothers, which is Virgo, in one of the great healers. So it's healing energy. What are you going to do with that, you guys? I think we should do something with it here, but what are you going to do at your house, with your family, in your community, with this beautiful September 3rd energy? I love it.
There's a meditation scheduled for that night, so that's perfect. And it's a world peace global meditation.
That does not surprise me. Isn't
Well,
that amazing?
It's every Tuesday night meditation group, but that's what they do. Yeah, but that's
we need to double down on that. And if you guys live in Atlanta, stay tuned. Let's double down on it.
Okay.
And make something like, let's and I want to say this out loud because you guys can do this at home. Let's bring this language into consciousness for that somehow.
Okay.
Maybe we do a little ritual before the Twin Hearts and then go into the Twin Hearts, but where we really call on these energies, right? Or acknowledge these energies and thank all that is for this information and help, right?
I'm in.
It makes it stronger. Then October 31st, and I know I'm skipping a lot of October, but Halloween. It is Mercury in retrograde, part 3 for 2019. I know, it's like all the holidays this year. It's not bad though, guys. It's not bad, but we do want to. It's in Scorpio.
Oh,
for Halloween.
Colleen just gasped and covered her mouth.
Mercury
Why
goes
is that-
retrograde October 31st
What
in
does it
Scorpio.
mean? What does it mean?
So it's
Does that mean I can't wear a costume?
no. Have fun, please. But it does mean, gosh, it's so deep. Scorpio retrograde is about truly, it's going to be a lot about unconscious psychology, you guys. It's going to be a lot about if you haven't been really taking care of what's in your unconscious, or you've been putting aside dealing with emotional issues, or if you've been putting aside dealing with past wounds and healing. And I know I'm sounding really deep right now, but it's Mercury in retrograde in Scorpio. It will bubble up
I was going to say,
in an unconscious way.
You mean like your energy will shift and prioritize the stuff that you like to hide deep within the closet and just disconnect, and it's going to...
Yes. This is a really amazing time for the shadow to come up, isn't that interesting about Halloween? Because, that's a lot about what they say Halloween was kind of all the shadow part. It was a ritual to kind of let all the shadow out for a night so that it doesn't bother you the rest of the year. That's how it originally, that's a very rudimentary way to talk about Halloween. Yep. But so here we are letting all those demons and ghouls out of ourselves, right? And I mean that in a positive way, the shadow parts of ourselves. So, gosh, how do we handle that? I'd make an appointment with my therapist. 1st of November. During this Mercury in retrograde, I'd make an appointment with my therapist. I would go get with that person that you need to make amends to. I would have that talk with that person. Oh my gosh, lies, secrets, lies and secrets. It's interesting. I would go ahead and put it on my calendar. Okay, I'm just going to come clean on this day. If you don't, it's going to be interesting to talk to people about things coming up, or they find things out that have been hidden for a very long time.
Just don't even start with
It's going to be interesting. That's why Colleen laughed. That's a really interesting retrograde right there on Halloween.
Because Colleen has so many secrets and lies. It's not true. It's not true. It's not true.
And, but isn't this interesting? It could happen in our government. It could happen in the news. Watch.
No, I see where you're going.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be really interesting. Okay. November 20th. Oh, and it's through November 20th, guys, in case you're taking notes. October 31st through November 20th. Okay, November 28th is the next date I picked.
So this is around Thanksgiving. So you're just
around Thanksgiving. Lovely. Neptune goes direct in Pisces. So it's going to be a very loving holiday season, which I love. Families getting together, and a lot of the blocks are going to be released with Neptune going direct in Pisces. So it's just a really good, almost overflowing of emotion in a very positive way. And let's think about the world. It's a big planet, right? So it could just really be a peace on earth. I love Christmas, whether you're a Christian or not. I just love the message of Christmas, which is, new hope and peace on earth and grace, gifts for no reason. So Neptune going direct in Pisces this year, you guys, around November 28th, I think it could be really lovely. I really do.
Sweet as pie.
Sweet. Okay. And then we've got, I just went right to December 29th when we'll be kicking off 2020. And that's when we have a new moon eclipse in Capricorn. So we've been talking about new moons.
Yes.
Right? So when we start fresh and when we really take on new challenges with that new moon, what do we want to do? What are our dreams? It's under the filter of Capricorn. So what does that mean? That means truly getting our goals created, becoming really efficient, getting rid of it's the Saturn stuff, right? Getting rid of what we don't need.
Ooh.
So what got you to the end of 2019 is not going to get you through 2020. So it's a really good time to clean all your closets, your body closet, your mental closet, your spiritual closet, and your actual closets. Clean it all out. Have a yard sale for all that stuff you don't need and start fresh for 2020.
God.
Is that a lot?
Yes. Yes, but now I know what's headed my way, what opportunities I can seize and make them work for me rather than like tsunami me emotionally.
It's really going to be a good year. It's going to be a good year.
I trust you.
My favorite thing about this is all the Virgo going on in 2019, which is healing for this earth.
Oh, I was kind
I'm
of attached to all
loving
the
that.
Venus stuff you were talking about.
Right?
All the love.
I love it. I
God,
love
Lord,
it.
thank you for being here.
You're so
and
welcome.
Going over this with us.
Yes, thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Always.
I'm excited. And you guys, if you have questions about anything I've said, put a message on the board. I'll get it, and we can have a dialogue about anything you didn't understand or you want to know a little bit more about. I'll be glad to help anybody watching with that.
And you could also head over to her website, which is lauraboone.org.
Yep.
And Instagram. But you also have one with your sister now.
I do. Our Instagram is JL Crystal Sisters at JL Crystal Sisters. And yes, we are doing crystal trunk shows. We have some new crystal products, adoptions. Yeah. So yeah, I've got a lot going on.
And it's going wonderful.
But thank you for having me. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
It's always fun.
Do Lumineers check out The Real Ethereal here on the Lighter Side Network. And we'll see you soon. I know you're going to be back on the stage.
Happy New Year.
Yay!
Have a good year, everybody.
Take care, Lumineers. Thank you so much for watching, for listening. And remember, it's not woo-woo.
It's true.
Bye.
Bye.
With Jamie.